Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello student, good morning. How's life? How's everything? I hope you're fine as me or even better than me. Today we are going to learn English. Before starting the lesson, let's raise your hand and dua before studying. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi zidni ilman warzuqni fahman. Ya Allah, give me knowledge and good understanding. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahla wa anta taj'alul hazna idza syi'ta sahla. Amin. Okay student, today we are going to review some grammar, present tense, past tense, present continuous, and some articles. And also we are going to review reading part 1, reading part 2, and reading part 3. As international language, English has 4 skills. What are they? Reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And today we are going to learn about reading. Okay, so reading skills are the skill acquired through reading, such as comprehension, fluency, and independence. These skills give people the ability to give clear meaning to the turn word on the page. These skills are important because we read something in some form every day, and it is an integral part of modern life. Okay, student, do you ever feel overwhelmed with the amount of reading you have? Do you sometimes have difficulty understanding and remembering what you read? If so, you are not alone. Many students struggle with these things because reading in upper secondary can be challenging, time-consuming, and a lot more rigorous than in lower secondary. However, with some effective strategies, you can make your reading time meaningful, focused, and productive. Okay, student. Let's recall what you have learned in Unit 1 Reading Preparation. Okay, Assessment Objective 1A, understand the overall message of a text. And an Assessment Objective in 1B, understand in detail a range of text, identifying finer points of detail. Assessment Objective in 1C, distinguish between facts, ideas, and opinions. And Assessment Objective 1D, identify a writer's viewpoint and attitude stated and implied. Okay, this unit prepares you for the reading section of Paper 1 Reading and Writing. In this part of the exam, you need to show that you can understand and respond to a range of texts in English. The unit contains 3 parts, which correspond to the 3 parts of the reading section. You will need to use different types of reading skill in the different parts. In part 1, skimming and scanning skills. In part 2, read for both gist and detail. And part 3, read for both gist and detail, follow a line of argument or discussion, and identify attitudes and opinions in the text. Okay, text in the reading section of the exam will be taken from a variety of sources, including fiction, and may include factual information, explanation, opinions, and biographical writing. In parts 1 until 3 of the exam, you need to meet assessment objectives in A01A, A01B, A01C, and A01D. The AOs that will be tested in the exam are indicated at the beginning of the corresponding part of this unit. Note you can also gain marks for reading in part 6 of the writing section of the exam. The unit focuses on the core reading skills that you need. Working through these lessons and activities will help you develop these skills. Okay, focusing on the exam. So in part 1, reading and writing is worth 10 marks. It is based on a collection of short texts, for example, an advert, timetable, or leaflet. You need to select and or match the information. Okay, we have learned about skimming and scanning. Two important skills for reading part 1 are skimming and scanning. Skimming means reading a text quickly to find the key points and overall message. Scanning means reading a text quickly to find specific details. And you have learned also about lexical words. Lexical words are the keywords that give meaning in a sentence. Identifying lexical words help you to understand the main ideas in the different paragraphs in a text. This can help you in reading part 1. And also you have learned sorting information. Once you have skimmed and scanned a text using lexical words to help, you should know the overall message and the key points of the text. The next important step is to sort the information into categories. This approach will help you to answer the question in reading part 1. President, welcome to reading part 2. Dexel Pearson International GCSE. Okay, focusing on the exam. In part 2, reading and writing is worth 15 marks. Okay, and then it is based on a long text, for example, extracts from leaflets, adverts, or articles. And you need to complete 2 or 3 different tasks. These can be multiple choice, short answer questions, true, false, or not given, note completion, sentence completion, diagram completion, or summary completion. Okay, focusing on exam. You need to distinguish between facts, ideas, and opinions. Okay? You need to identify details in the text, and you need to identify the writer's viewpoint and attitude stated and implied. Okay, selection. An important skill for reading part 2 is the ability to identify and select information from a range of text types. You need to identify factual information, facts about people, places, or times, and abstract information such as feelings or ideas. There will be clues to help you. The wording of the question will tell you whether to look for facts or ideas. Sometimes, but not always, the wording might include opinion words. For example, what does the writer think about? He thinks, she felt, her hopes was. Okay. Next, identifying synonyms. To help select the right information, you need to think about synonym when you are reading. Synonyms are words that have the same meaning. Look for words in the text that are synonyms of words in the exam questions. So for example, the question refers to enjoyment. Okay, what is the synonym of enjoyment? For example, the text includes the word pleasure. The sentence or paragraph containing the word pleasure should help you to answer the question. focusing on the exam in reading part 3. Part 3, reading and writing, is worth 20 marks. It is based on a long text, for example, a report or article, and then you need to complete 2 or 3 different tasks. These can be multiple choice, short answer question, true, false, or not given, note completion, sentence completion, diagram completion, and summary completion. You need to distinguish between fact, ideas, and opinion, and you need to identify the writer's viewpoint and attitude stated and implied. Okay, verifying information. True, false, or not given. One of the possible tasks in reading part 3 is to read the text and decide whether statements about the text are true or false. The other option is not given. Choose this option when you cannot determine whether the statement is true or false by reading the text, because the information doesn't appear in the text. Okay, next, reading part 3. Identifying facts, ideas, and opinion. Okay, the text in reading part 3 will contain information that can be fact, ideas, or opinion. A useful skill is to be able to identify these different types of information. Okay, so what is facts? Facts tell us what happened and can be proven true or false. And how about opinions? Opinions are attitudes or judgments that can't be proven right or wrong. So, facts and opinion. Facts tell us what happened and can be proven true or false, and opinion are attitudes or judgments that can't be proven right or wrong. Okay, let's take a look at defining these two important concepts. So, what is a fact? A fact generally refers to something that is true and can be verified as such. That is, a fact is something that can be proven to be true. So, what is an opinion? An opinion refers to a personal belief. It relates to how someone feels about something. Others may agree or disagree with an opinion, but they cannot prove or disprove it. This is what defines it as opinion. Why are fact and opinion so important? So, the ability to distinguish between fact and opinion helps you to develop your critical and analytical skills in both reading and listening. Fact and opinion are often woven together in text and speeches. It is therefore imperative that you are able to unravel the threads of what is true from what is mere belief if you are to successfully navigate the deluge of media they will encounter in your lifetimes. So whether on the news, in advertising, or a history book, distinguishing between what is fact and what is opinion is crucial to becoming an autonomous person with the critical abilities necessary to avoid being manipulated easily. So what is an idea? An idea is a thought or a group of thoughts that develop in the mind. So, a suggestion or plan for doing something. For example, why don't we go to the coast? Let's eat kimchi at the restaurant. Let's go to the Natural History Museum. I'm going to buy a new laptop. Hey, let's pray tahajjud together.
Okay, student, welcome to English grammar, present tense, present continuous, and past tense. Okay, we use the present simple to talk about facts which are always true. For example, water boils at 100 degrees, and then the earth goes around the sun. And next, situations that are true in the present period of time. For example, I study English and math. My mother works in a bank. She's very tired. And then habitual action, often with adverbs of frequency and time. For example, Teacher Nur usually plays tennis 3 times a week. They often go hiking. Teacher Rina always teaches English. And then timetables and schedules. For example, the train leaves at 11 p.m. tonight. The concert starts at 7 o'clock. Okay, these are the examples of present tense or simple present. It usually rains every day here, and then it smells very delicious in the kitchen. We generally sing songs all together. We go to a gallery every Sunday. Does he write an email? The sun rises at the east. Julie talks very fast. My brother's dog barks a lot. She goes to work by car. It doesn't rain here in the summer. We cook every day. We go to the gym club together. You have a big house. I like reading detective stories. And then I like geography and science. She doesn't study German on Monday. Does she live in London? She plays basketball. He catches the train every morning. And the last Michael doesn't work. Okay, let's move to present continuous tense. We use the present continuous to talk about periods of activity which are ongoing. For example, I'm studying for exams this week. We are taking an art class, and then actions in progress at the moment of speaking. For example, he is talking on the phone. They are playing at the park. And then a current change, for example, Manchester is playing better recently. The weather is getting cooler. And then repeated action, for example, he's always complaining. Ashraf and Yasmin are always helping people. And then description of pictures, for example, the man in the photo is sitting in a chair. And then that's me, I'm holding a big fish. And then the last future plans, for example, my friends are arriving on Sunday. And then we're having a dinner this weekend with our relatives. Next, okay, past simple. We use the past simple to talk about complete action that are no longer relevant to the current situation. For example, I grew up in New York or in York. Elena lived in Madrid for 3 years. And an action that take place in a period of time that have finished. For example, I met him last week. Pedro just left a minute ago. And then talk about recount events or tell stories. For example, I went to a concert and it was very exciting. The wizard reached into his bag and took out a mouse. And then talk about the shoulder of two action in the past. For example, I was eating dinner when the phone rang. Okay, let's move to articles. And an. Articles, there are two types of article, the indefinite articles, an, and definite articles, the. We usually use articles before nouns or adjectives plus noun. For example, I've got a cat, she needs a new jacket. He bought an apple, that was an interesting film. Put your homework on the desk, and then please pass me the blue pens. And an, we use before singular nouns that begin with consonant sound. For example, a book, a desk, a hospital, a uniform. Here we pronounce the U as a consonant. Okay, we use an before singular nouns that begin with vowel sounds. For example, an apple, an elephant, an hour. Here the H is silent. Okay, and an umbrella. And we usually use and an when it is not clear which person or thing we are talking about. For example, I want to buy a book. We do not know which book. Okay, and it's raining. Have you got an umbrella? we do not know which umbrella. And then we mention something for the first time. For example, I bought a book. The book is about animals. There is a pen under the desk. I think the pen belongs to Ali. Okay, let's move to the. The. We usually use the when it is clear which thing we are talking about. For example, please hand me the book on the table. Is he the new math teacher? And then we refer to things we have already mentioned. For example, I bought a book. The book is about animals. There's a pen under the desk. I think the pen belongs to Ali. And then there is only one thing. For example, did you see the moon last night? The sun is a star. Okay, and we also use the with time sequences in the beginning, at the end, in the past, and then dates. The 1st of June, the 15th of March, parts of the day, in the morning, in the evening, during the day. And then fixed time expression at the moment, for the time being. Season, optional, in the spring, in the winter. And then musical instrument after the verb play. He plays the piano. She plays the violin. Historical events, for example, the Stone Age, in Industrial Revolution. And then ships, the Titanic, the Bismarck. And then public bodies, the government, the police force. Okay, zero article. So what is zero articles? So you cannot use articles here. We do not usually use articles with proper nouns. For example, I'm studying with Sunil tonight. My parents are from Luxor. Mr. Romeo is our English teacher. And then plural countable nouns. For example, my aunt has 5 cats. Computers are getting faster and faster. Why do you have so many watches? And then uncountable nouns. For example, I love playing football. Water covers 7% of the globe. I eat ginger every day. And then days, I've got a cricket match on Tuesday. Let's meet on Sunday afternoon. And then months, we're going on holiday in June. My birthday is in March. School subject, the next lesson is science. I think history is easy. Meals, let's have breakfast. What's for dinner? Abstract nouns, happiness is the key to life. Curiosity is more important than intelligence. Transport, we travel by train. I prefer going on foot. And additional, the last is holiday. For example, I love Islamic New Year. Okay, or my favorite holiday is Islamic New Year. Okay, we do not use articles with some places. For example, bed, class, sport, home, hospital, market, prison, school, town, university. When we talk about their primary purpose, she is in bed. It means she is sleeping. Okay, my grandma is in hospital for 3 weeks. It means that she is sick. And then he's already at school. He is studying. My cousins are coming to town. It means they are visiting. And then watch out. Note that we need to use there when we talk about the actual thing or place. Your shoes are under the bed. I'm going to the hospital to see grandma. There's a dinner at school on Saturday. The town isn't very far from here. So that is an actual thing. And then we do not usually use articles with most place name, but there are many exceptions. We use the when countable nouns like these appear in the place name. Okay? For example, bay, channel, gulf, kingdom, ocean, republic, river, and sea. Okay, let's move to some and any. We can use some and any to refer to an indefinite amount. For example, are there any oranges on the table? There are some oranges on the table. There aren't any oranges on the table. Is there any water in the fridge? There is some water in the fridge. There isn't any water in the fridge. Usually, we use any with negative and interrogative or question, and some with positive. Okay? Okay. This is another examples when you use some or any. For example, there is sofa in the room. there is an armchair in the room. There are some chairs in the room. And then the negative one, there isn't a sofa in the room. There isn't an armchair in the room. There aren't any chairs in the room. And the last, is there a sofa in the room? Is there an armchair in the room? Are there any chairs in the room?
Okay, today you are going to learn some grammar, the simple present tense, past tense, and present continuous tense. Okay, student, the simple present tense, it is used to express habits, general truths, repeated action, or unchanging situation, emotion, and wishes. For example,
examples for habits. He drinks tea at breakfast. She only eats fish. They watch television regularly. For repeated actions or events, we watch the bus every morning. It rains every afternoon in the hot season. They drive to Monaco every summer. Okay, for general truths, water freezes at 0 degrees. The earth revolves around the sun. Her mother is Peruvian.
okay, the second one is to give instruction or direction. And here is the example.
For instructions or directions, okay, open the packet and pour the contents into hot water. And then you take the number 6 bus to Watney and then the number 10 to Bedford.
Okay, the third one is to express fixed arrangement, present or future. For example,
for fixed arrangements, his mother arrives tomorrow and then our holiday starts on the 26th March.
And last but not least, to express future time after some conjunction. And here are the examples.
With future constructions, for example, she'll see you before she leaves. We'll give it to her when she arrives.
Cindy usually swims on Tuesdays. Duper never cleans the car. Super goes to gym on Thursdays. Emma always studies hard. George and Bob and Peter Black often play basketball with Zach at the weekend. We're always free at the weekend. We watch TV at the weekend. We do what we like from Saturday morning till Sunday night. In the morning when we get up, we go to school at 8. In the afternoon we come home, and sometimes we are late. We usually learn the things we like, but we can't wait for Friday night at the weekend. We're always free at the weekend. We watch TV at the weekend. We do what we like from Saturday morning till Sunday night at the weekend. We're always free at the weekend. We watch TV at the weekend. We do what we like from Saturday morning till Sunday night. From Saturday morning till Sunday night.
Okay, student, how about past tense or the simple past tense? It is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now or past actions. Okay, let's see the examples.
John Cabot sailed to America in 1498. My father died last year. He lived in Fiji in 1976. We crossed the channel yesterday. You always use the simple past when you say when something happened, so it is associated with certain past time expression. Frequency, often, sometimes, always. I sometimes walk home at lunchtime. I often brought my lunch to school. A definite point in time, last week, when I was a child, yesterday, 6 weeks ago. We saw a good film last week. Yesterday, I arrived in Geneva. She finished her work at 7 o'clock. I went to the theater last night. An indefinite point in time, the other day, ages ago, a long time ago. People live in caves a long time ago. She played the piano when she was a child. Note, the word ago is a useful way of expressing the distance into the past. It is placed after the period of time, a week ago, 3 years ago, a minute ago. Examples, they weren't in Rio last summer. We didn't have any money. We didn't have time to visit the Eiffel Tower. We didn't do our exercises this morning. Were they in Iceland last January? Did you have a bicycle when you were young? Did you do much climbing in Switzerland? Simple past irregular verbs. Some verbs are irregular in the simple past. Here are the most common ones. To go. He went to the market last night. Did he go to the cinema last night? He didn't go to bed early last night. To give. We gave her a doll for her birthday. They didn't give John their new address. Did Barry give you my passport? To come. My parents came to visit me last July. We didn't come because it was raining. Did he come to your party last week?
Okay, last but not least is present continuous tense. Do you know what is present continuous tense? Okay, for example, I'm teaching now. You are studying now. Yes, you are right. It is an action that happened at the time of speaking. And here are the examples.
The present continuous is used to describe an action that is going on at this moment. You are using the internet, you are studying English grammar. To describe an action that is going on during this period of time or a trend. Are you still working for the same company? More and more people are becoming vegetarian. To describe an action or event in the future which has already been planned or prepared. We are going on holiday tomorrow. I'm meeting my friend tonight. Are they visiting you next winter? To describe a temporary event or situation, he usually plays the drum, but he's playing bass guitar tonight. The weather forecast was good, but it's raining at the moment. With always, forever, constantly, to describe and emphasize a continuing series of repeated action, Harry and Sally are always arguing. You are constantly complaining about your mother-in-law.
Okay, student, I believe it's the end of the lesson and I hope you learned something from the lesson. Let's say hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Istighfar 3 times. Astaghfirullahalazim, astaghfirullahalazim, astaghfirullahalazim. And doa kafaratul majlis. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika asyhadu alla ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Amin. I'm Teacher Nur. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.